You know, growing is always a good thing, especially when it comes to growing more for education. And that's exactly what they're doing at William Carey University. Dr. Ben Burnett, who's the president there. Dr. Burnett,
hey.
Always a pleasure.
Glad to be back and glad to be in your studio.
Well, thank you. It's glad to have you in my studio.
Absolutely.
We have a lot of things going on out at William Carey University. We've talked to so many of the different professors out there, the different programs, and there's some new things that are expanding. And we want to talk about that, if you would, to what exactly the campus expansion is going to be.
Well, before we talk about the campus expansion, you mentioned growing, and I think it's important for our Gulf Coast community to know kind of the history and also where we are at present with our enrollment, because 25 years ago, William Carey College was a very small 1,200, 1,500 Baptist private, very small liberal arts school, but now we have grown to 5,500 students.
Wow. And
out of 15 universities in the state of Mississippi, we're the 5th largest based on information that I got earlier in this year. We're moving up and growing in enrollment when most of the colleges and universities in the country are declining. So we've been able to hold our own and to show growth. And most importantly with that, we're growing in an area where we need to grow, and that's our undergraduate enrollment. We saw an 8% increase, a 10% increase, and a 5% increase in our 3 terms this year in undergraduate enrollment. So it is continuing to expand. And we want to do that more on the Gulf Coast. We've been here since 1976 when we bought the old Gulf Coast Military Academy building, which unfortunately didn't exist after 2005 when
Katrina decided to come through here.
Yeah,
blow it out.
when the landscape of the entire Gulf Coast and parts of Hattiesburg as well, changed after that point. But we were able to use that for our good. And to build a beautiful campus, as you know, on Highway 67 in the Tradition community. We're very proud to partner with the Tradition neighborhood there, Mr. Canizero and his development. They've been great supporters of us, and so we want to take it to the next step and take what we already have to be great at the Tradition campus and to expand from there.
So you have grown here, just looking at, you had the ribbon cutting there on Sienna Hall back in September 2018.
Right.
And October of 2018, Governor Phil Bryant spoke at the dedication of Sanderson Hall.
Right.
Now you've got 3-story dormitory that y'all are about to start working on.
And that is our hope with our fundraising efforts. It's contingent upon raising money that we're aggressively in the business of doing right now. But if everything goes well, we'd hope to start on the first phase of this expansion in the fall, which would be the building of the dormitory. And
let's take a look at that's
our existing campus as you would see it now, and the Sanderson Hall.
That's the dormitory.
There'll be a dormitory on green space, which is already on our campus, which we already own the land. So it'll be a 3-story. Men's and women's side.
How many students will it hold?
102 beds, and built in with it, we'd also have a small student center and a cafe on the first floor. Part of the expansion, as you see here now, this is the extension of Sienna Hall. You mentioned the ribbon cutting of that, and that's a great addition to that campus. But we would expand the bottom floor to be a cafeteria, and the top floor expansion of Sienna Hall would accommodate the growth of our great nursing program, which we already have on the Tradition campus. And you know, there are several shortage areas in the state of Mississippi that are hugely important for me and you and every Mississippian. And that's education shortage for teachers, which we feel like that we're doing more than our part on. Doctors in rural areas, which were ranked #1 in the country for placing doctors in rural areas from our medical school, now the largest medical school in the state and one of the highest ranked in the Southeast. But then also nurses is another shortage. And I don't know if you've ever been to a hospital in an emergency situation and they were short-staffed on nurses.
Oh, yes.
And I unfortunately have that experience, and it's horrible. And so we're trying to do our best to partner with community colleges and to continue the growth of our nursing program. And this expansion in Sienna Hall would give us more room, state-of-the-art facilities to welcome students there, especially those transferring from Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College, which is literally next door in the Bryant Center. We'd be able to seamlessly transition them and to help the economy and the growth and workforce development for the entire Mississippi Gulf Coast.
They have the Tradition campus actually accounts for more than 20% of William Cary's enrollment.
That's right.
That's quite a
well. It's good. It's good news, but we feel like with the population of the Gulf Coast, we're not scratching the surface.
No, a lot of people don't realize what all is aware. That's why we started this Tradition Tuesday with William Carey University, is so we could educate people, pardon the pun, on everything that they do have available at William Carey University. There's so many wonderful programs that we've talked about.
Well, but the one thing we've lacked is if you're going to come to William Carey University on the coast, do we have a place to stay? Do you have a place for us to live? Because the next closest housing would be probably in D'Iberville, and that's not a far commute.
No, it's about 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's not bad, but on-campus housing just changes the whole dynamic of what you're able to do. And to have 102 beds, it would propel the growth of the pharmacy school, because the pharmacy school has a 6-year accreditation, fully accredited, accelerated program that's doing well, but we have room in each class for a little bit of growth, and we'll be able to recruit more students to come, because if they had an on-campus place to live that's affordable and connected right there to the campus and in their own cafeteria, we just feel like this will be the next great move for us to solidify our place on the Gulf Coast as an educational force for the future.
Do you have a date as to when the dorm will be open?
If all goes according to plan in our fundraising efforts, the earliest we could begin construction on the first phase will be the fall, and it'll be about a 1.5 year project to do. So I'm not a very patient person. I'd like to have it open in the fall and ready to go, but that's not the way construction works. So
no,
we're looking at
hurry up and wait.
Yeah, that's right. We're looking at about 2 years.
Okay.
So we just.
Well, we will definitely be following it. And all the other wonderful programs that you have out there that are actually going on. There are so many different ones, and that you continue watching here on Tradition Tuesday. You'll find out all the great things. Dr. Burnett, thank you. As always, a pleasure to sit down and talk to you and find out the wonderful things that are going on at William Carey University here on the Gulf Coast.
Well, thank you for your time and your support of our university.
Definitely. So if you want some more information, you can go to the website on your screen or give them a call and set up an appointment for a tour at William Carey University.